Hi everybody, it's Hannah from dreambakes, and I'm in yet another location because my house has terrible lighting 90% of the time for somebody with very pale skin, so we shall crack on. This episode is another review of Great British Bake Off, and this was Pudding Week, which is week number 5, and a bit of a mixed bag for me. So the first round, signature bake, that was your classic steam pudding, which to me is what a pudding is, so I was expecting that all the way through the show. More on that later. A lot of them, they were very interesting. They had quite good flavours, like the Earl Grey one I was disappointed didn't turn out quite well. Two of them did cherry bake well, and I'm sure they were absolutely devastated when they found out the other person was doing that. And we had a bit of a record, so we had 3 golden handshakes. So there was Liam, Jan and Stacey, was it? Let me just check. Yeah. So Liam was the first who got one, and he was absolutely gutted because he thought, like, as I would think, I'm safe for the next round, that's cool, I've made something amazing. But then 2 other people get it as well, and it kind of just detracts from his achievement a little bit, which, yeah, I was a bit disappointed for him. And they went into a little history segment about puddings later, and I really like those history segments. I know some people don't get on with them, but I love the history of food. And they were explaining how puddings used to be a savoury thing. They were basically like a haggis, so they were in like an animal's stomach and then boiled kind of thing, which makes sense because the word pudding is from the French boudin, and that is like a black pudding sausage kind of thing. And I think in Canada, to faire un boudin, I think that's like to have a sulk or something like that. I could be wrong. That might not even be used anymore. But yeah, so over the time, like, the sheep's stomach was replaced with a cloth, and then stuff started to be introduced, like raisins, sultanas, and things, and it just kind of gradually got sweeter and sweeter. And then we had the technicals. So I had beef with this. I had beef. So to me, a fondant isn't a pudding. And I'm sure that there's a dictionary out there somewhere that says a pudding is this, this, and this. But to me, pudding is your steamed pudding. Otherwise, I don't really call it a pudding. And yeah, so they were asked to make 6 chocolate peanut butter fondants, and I'm very surprised because I know that there's like a lot of timing issues with fondant and stuff, but I find fondants actually quite easy to do. Like, I know a lot of people do them on dinner date and what have you, so, and come down with me. So I don't feel like they're that much of a challenge, but maybe because of the peanut butter, I don't know. So most of them were very good. A couple of them were overbaked. James's was one of them. Kate was bottom of that challenge. Sophie won on that one, I believe. They thought Stephen was going to be really, really good, but they cut into it, and he was actually not that good. He emerged middle of the pack, which was quite surprising. And the thing that really, really annoyed me is they had staggered start times. So, the first one starts, and they don't really get to see what the other person is doing. However, I felt that they should have had it entirely blind, so maybe have like a screen down the middle or something like that, which, as my mum pointed out, is not very good for television. But the people, like, the first person who goes is at a considerable disadvantage because all the other people who are coming after her can see what the others have done. So you look around and you think, oh, I've not used that, maybe I should put that in, or oh, look at the amount of peanut butter he's putting in, maybe I should do that too. And yeah, so I found it quite unfair for Julia. And where did she come? She was top 3, that was fine. But I thought that was very, very unfair. I would have preferred it entirely blind, so nobody could see anybody rather than these stagger shots. And I'm fully aware that it would take like 9 hours to film unless they did it with a screen. So I don't know, I think that needs working on, to be honest, as far as I'm concerned. And then your third one, showstopper, of course, and you had to make a ornamental terrine / trifle kind of thing. And there were some very cool ones here. There was Jan's Heart of a Hero, which she made a little like a paperweight sort of shape, if you know what I mean, and injected it with dye to make it look like a poppy, which I didn't think came off ultimately, but it was a good idea, and that is probably how they make those paperweights. But they've got, my dad has one with a dragonfly in, and it's sort of suspended in it. I thought Stacey's was a bit too flashy. The James's Union Jack, I thought that was really cool, but obviously when you slice it you don't get the same effect. And then when you compare his Union Jack to the American flag of Stevens, like, it was just above and beyond. That was super cool. And I did think it looked a bit tough, to be honest. So they thought it looked amazing, but it didn't actually taste that great, which you might need to watch, because he does have, he's the architect, I think it is. He has these great sort of structural ideas, but if it doesn't taste good, then like it's not going to get him that far. What else was there? There was the raspberry custard. I was very surprised, Kate's raspberry custard, that they didn't kind of like ask her why she used powdered custard. And I'm sure if Mary Berry was there, she would be like kicking off. And I know that she used it for a reason, and you kind of can't recreate the taste of powdered custard, and she was trying to make it nostalgic because of her gran and stuff like that. But yeah, I think if it was a later stage in the competition, she would not be getting away with that at all. Especially considering I believe she was the one that made such an awful custard in the first round. I think that was her. And let me see. Sophie was Star Baker, which I'm not 100% surprised by. Her showstopper was really cool, and she did best in the technical. And yeah, they liked her pudding as well. So what I predicted last week was indeed what happened, and James left, which was a bit of a shame because he is a very nice man. But yeah, I think he would have struggled quite a lot in the coming weeks. And so what's my one to watch next to leave? This is, I would think maybe Julia or Liam. I would have a guess at. There's some stuff that both of them have kind of tripped up at, and like Liam was in an absolute state about it. It's terrine, bless him. Like the orange layer just didn't set, and the judges were quite cruel about that. I mean, everybody knows when something's gone wrong with his dessert, and they were kind of like laughing and saying, "Oh, it's like water." And yeah, if somebody said that to me, I would probably laugh and then quietly have a bit of a cry later. So next week is pastry, which I worked in a French patisserie, as I've said before, so I know quite a bit about pastry. So I'm quite excited about what they're going to do next week. Are they going to stick to short crust? Are they going to go puff? Are they going to go flaky? Are they going to go hot water? It could be absolutely anything. Like, it's a very broad week compared to, say, caramel. And to be fair, like, pudding was a broader week as well. And if you haven't seen before, I've mentioned in my last video where I got this adorable little bake-off necklace from. And my favourite quote of the episode was fancy a fielding fondle. That was quite enjoyable. So do watch the last ones if you haven't seen them. And my social media and all that good stuff is down below in the box. There's loads of behind the scenes bloopers from these videos. There are quite a few of those. And loads of other good stuff to interact with at events and offers, etc. So go have a look. Like, subscribe if you liked the video, and I shall see you in the next one. Thank you guys, bye bye.